Agent 47 and Diana Burnwood are the world's top assassins working for the ICA. Unknowingly, they have been hired by a shadow client to target a number of operatives of Providence, a secret organization working in the highest echelons of power. Providence's controller, the Constant, approaches Diana and makes her a deal. Eliminate the shadow client and learn about 47's past. But when 47 discovers that the shadow client is Lucas Gray, his lost childhood friend, he and Diana switch sides to fulfill an old pact: destroy Providence. Together, they manage to capture the Constant, forcing him to reveal the identities of the 3 Providence partners. Eliminate them, and the war would be over. However, the Constant has an ace up his sleeve. Look closer. In the shadows, behind the everyday world, beyond the headlines and the seats of power, a hidden hand. A kind of company known as Providence. To it, we were just assets to use and throw away, to do the unthinkable, the unforgivable. And it never gave us a second thought. Until now. After decades in the shadows, we are fighting back. Me and 47. Much has been lost, but we are closer than ever. We trapped the Constant, Providence's chief controller, and finally learnt the names of its 3 partners. In their downfall, we lay the past to rest. And, just maybe, look towards the future. 47. It's time.
Partners are down there. You know, I never planned this far ahead. You never do. I see someone got his memory back. Wait, is that a beacon? What the hell? Base. Alexa Carlisle's helicopter just took off. Confirm target locations, over. Diana, what's the status?
Right. We have a situation. Carlisle has left the building. And I think I know why. The Constant has escaped. He persuaded one of the sailors into setting him free. And since then, he's been seizing control of Providence assets and resources. I can only assume Carlisle is rushing to contain the damage.
If she slips away again...
We'll keep track of her. Make sure she doesn't. Meanwhile, the plan stays the same. Your destination is the Scepter, the world's tallest building where the partners are laying low, courtesy of their host, Sheikh Omar Al-Ghazali. Marcus Stuyvesant is 5th-generation old money. His family made its fortune in real estate and banking, and were at one point the chief landowners in New York. Carl Ingram is a powerful Washington kingmaker whose family grew rich selling gunpowder during the American Civil War, and later established a globe-spanning empire in oil, coal, and steel. Both families long since retreated from public view, but their quiet dominance endures to this day. Now, the partners likely suspect that we're coming, So Mr. Gray will infiltrate building controls and disable all electronic doors and elevators. Stuyvesant and Ingram are about to find they have nowhere left to run.
Right. This is our moment, 47. Providence ruined our lives with the flick of a pen. Today, we return the favor. Happy hunting.
Welcome to Dubai, 47. Today is the inauguration of the scepter, and the ceremony is well underway. You will find Marcus Stuyvesant near the building's signature art installation, while a paranoid Carl Ingram has ensconced himself in his penthouse suite, security on highest alert. Mr. Gray is already in position and ready to assist. Good luck, 47.
Welcome to Dubai. I am Matthias, the game director of Hitman 3. I'm going to give each mission a short introduction, starting right here in Dubai. Hitman 3 is the end of a journey, and Dubai is where it all starts. We wanted to give a feeling of being on top of the world before continuing the game into more brooding and intimate missions. One goal for the start of Dubai was to really set the stage early and give the player an immense feeling of vertigo and verticality. Originally, we had 47 step out of an elevator directly into the lobby, but we didn't feel like that gave us what we wanted in terms of setting the mood, urgency, and storytelling. One of the things we wanted to do in Hitman 3 was to bring the story a bit closer to the gameplay and have it be a bit more accessible and immediate. You can see the result of this already, having the gameplay start almost literally where the first cinematic ends. By having a short, linear, playable intro, we can have the player get used to the control scheme of the game, tutorialize the new camera item, and at the same time allow for some in-game storytelling. This sets up Lucas Gray's drive and purpose as the player is breaking into the skyscraper and into the sandbox, where the real gameplay starts. For subsequent playthroughs, our mastery system allows players to skip this part by unlocking new starting locations that lead directly into the sandbox. After breaking through the tunnels and finding their way into the inauguration of the tallest building in the world, we wanted the player to feel invited and being part of a very high-end event in typical Hitman fashion. This location is about the flash and the display of new money, which is in stark contrast to the targets and their lineage, who are both from old money many, many generations ago. They don't really belong in this place. You probably also noticed the big difference between the public-facing rooms and the worker crew facilities. One is very luxurious and expensive looking, while on the backside things are not as pretty. We always try to give contrast and do environmental storytelling like this in our locations. When playing this mission, we wanted to give the player a feeling of conquering the skyscraper, slowly finding the way up and unlocking powerful shortcuts as they explore, as well as mastering the general gameplay and level design. The first few times, it is more likely that players will have to go outside and climb up to one of the targets. But as they master the location, there will be more convenient and sneaky ways discovered. It is about discovering the Swiss cheese and mastering it.
Locked. 47, use your camera and scan the lock, will you? I think I can override the Windows controls from here.
Welcome, sir. Please help yourself.
Hello, I don't mean to pry, but upstairs, do you by any chance know who's staying there? I hear it's not just the Royal Highness.
I'm going to ask you politely to move along. I don't appreciate your line of questioning.
Hello there.
47. I would like to address the Providence partners directly. I want them to know why this is happening. And I have an idea, but it requires you finding a map terminal.
I am so over the city.
Pretty swanky place, huh?
Oh, yeah. I could get used to a gig like this. Beautiful view. Lots of open space.
Miles above the ground, too.
Yep. Hard to imagine someone caught...
Garçon, I love that vest.
Look, it's just a precaution.
I've been personally invited by the Royal Highness Omar Al-Ghazali. I should have clearance. The name is Zaina Kazim.
Sir, I understand. But you can't enter without being searched. Standard procedure. Listen.
Well, that's how it is. Think about it and come back if you want. I'll be waiting upstairs in the reception. Understood?
Twisted.
Yes, you are the man.
Hello, sir. Excuse me, if you're coming through, I have to frisk you. Only take a minute, okay? Just a quick pat down, sir. Nothing to worry about. Good. You're clean and good to go.
Oh, Mr. Kazim. I'm glad you changed your mind.
Arrogance can be a dangerous trait.
Yes, indeed, it can. Mr. Ingram has been expecting you. We have a conference room set up for you.
No need to panic.
Please, go in and make yourself comfortable. Mr. Ingram will be with you shortly.
Have a lovely day.
Thank you.
Mr. Kazim, a pleasure to meet you. Omar tells me great things about you. I'll get straight to the point. I have well, let's call it a dispute, which the Royal Highness tells me you're very capable of taking care of. Now, I've worked with your organization before, in Morocco, I believe, so I'm a little hesitant.
Don't be. We do what's needed.
Well, only time will tell. I have 2 assignments for you. Take care of the first one, and then we can discuss the bigger fish. Now, on to the first. An acute problem has been brought to my attention.
Keep talking.
I'll be candid with you. No one is supposed to know that I'm here. However, there's a journalist down at the inauguration, and he's asking rather intrusive questions about who's staying up here, and that is a very dangerous problem for me. Now, I want you to silence this little pain. You think you can do that?
It's what I do best.
I like your bluntness. This is his file. Hans Lucht, Pulitzer-winning freelance journalist. He's good, and won't give up until he gets the answers he needs. And that can't happen.
Consider it done.
Good man. And remember, I want a picture. I want proof so I can sleep tonight.
Of course.
Once this little assignment is completed, come back and talk to Miss Tw. Then we can discuss the real cancer that needs to be removed. I'm sure you can see yourself out.
That's Carl Ingram, Provident's partner and brass-balled billionaire. A legendary political fixer, Ingram is old money and as rotten as they come.
Hello? Yeah, just wanted to remind you about the lockdown drill tomorrow. That's right, 900 hours. And the keycards to activate the alarms are still in the safe in the security room. Yeah, same code. 6927. Just don't tell your mama or I'll have to shoot. Okay. Okay, but remember, you deactivate the alarm on both doors, otherwise nothing.
Hey, it's me. I thought about what you said. Yeah, I've changed my mind. It was an insane idea to stop. Except that I didn't go. I don't want blood on my hands. I've never taken things to such an extreme before.
Uh-huh. Anyone there? What? We might have a possible disturbance. I'm moving to investigate. We'll keep you posted. Ta-da! What up, Chef?
Please stay back.
Carl Ingram finally gets what he deserves. Good riddance. Now let's get Marcus Stuyvesant.
Hope he's got his papers with him. I heard rumors that he used to work for that Dawood Rangan. You know, the Bollywood producer who died. Doesn't sound promising. No, it doesn't.
I think I can open that window remotely. Scan the lock with your camera and I'll have a try.
All right, gather up.
Look, this is gonna make me look really bad.
I'm sure it's around here somewhere. Don't you worry. A colleague is also out there looking.
But this is awful. I mean, I'm in my boxers and you are a woman. It's just so embarrassing.
Oh, it's nothing I haven't seen before.
But you don't understand. I'm military. We military men are used to punctuality. I was supposed to be ready and present my papers half an hour ago.
Yes, you men in the army with your papers. Super punctual. I get it.
Are you making fun of me? That's so cruel. Do you know what a man is without his gun?
Man in his boxers. Crying like a baby.
Ugh, you women will never understand.
And I don't think we ever will.
Harpy. She's just waiting for a chance to swoop down, sink her. Oh God, this isn't happening. Really?
Jesus. What am I doing anyway? I don't give a shit.
Hello, sir.
Reporting for duty.
About time. Our client has been going out of his mind waiting for you. Do you have the papers?
Yes.
Good. I'll call him now.
How should I address him?
It's classified, so you don't call him anything. But officially, he's just known as codename Pinky. Sir, this is security. Just calling to let you know your new guard has finally arrived. Yes, sir. See you soon. Okay, wait here. He'll be here shortly. Just a heads up. The package is a real ball breaker. He's been here countless times inquiring about where you were, so don't be surprised if he's high maintenance. But I'm sure you're used to that.
A job is a job.
That's the right attitude. You'll fit in fine here.
Got it.
Right there. That's Marcus Stuyvesant.
Okay.
Providence partner, self-entitled and arrogant little worm.
I have very high
He might not look like
standards.
much,
Trust you will
but
do
he's done
your
more
duty.
damage to the world than you could dream.
You have your credentials on you?
Keeping the big man safe, huh? Yeah, nice gig.
Well, this all looks very promising. Yes. Good. Oh, you worked for Dawood Rangan. Hope you weren't there on the day of his tragic death. Okay, this all looks very good. Come on, let's walk. I need to tell you a bit about what I expect from you. expect you to be by my side 24/7, unless I say otherwise. Bathroom breaks are, of course, permitted, but only when I say so. I have a very important, delicate meeting today, at which I expect you to keep your ears closed, but your eyes wide open. Understood? Now, your papers were indeed impressive, but I need to see what you can do with my own eyes. My father used to take me hunting. He was an avid hunter. I personally hated it, but always admired his skill with a knife, and grew to appreciate what it takes to gut an animal. Have you ever tried to gut an animal?
Yes.
Good. Then you know it's not so easy as it looks. Like trying to stab a rubber ball. It bounces back if you don't stab it correctly. You're almost here. You have to understand. I didn't get where I am by blind faith. Okay, we are almost there. You see the shooting targets? Any fool can shoot a target. With a knife? No. That's where the talent lies. My father always used to say, if you are good with a knife, you're even better with a gun. I want to see your skills. I don't know why, but I've always trusted a man who would throw a knife. I'm sure a psychiatrist would have a field day with that statement. So, show me what you got. Do well and you work for me. Fail, we get out of here, and I never want to see your face again. Let's just hope he's half as good as you were.
Only time will tell. But I doubt it.
You cocky idiot. Oh, spot on. Look at that. Not bad at all. That was a magnificent performance. I like you. I think we will get along just fine.
You've gained his trust.
I think I got the right man now.
What to do
Thank you
with
for your
all
services.
that power?
Take the rest of the day off. You deserve it.
Thank you, sir. It was an honor. Thank you, sir.
You impressed me. You really did. But let's get to work. Some things you should know about me. This is very much on a need-to-know basis. I am here incognito. So I want you to stay close.
We got him, 47. Soon there will be no more Providence. You need to find an exit. Our business is done here, but it's far from over. If that's your winning face, I'd hate to see you lose.
We underestimated the Constant.
Yeah, he's a glorified desk clerk.
He's not just after the money. He wants it all.
We caught him once, we can do it again. And, well, we're not the ones who let him escape.
You still don't trust her.
I don't like executive decision makers. Look, you don't have to follow her, you know? Soon, this will be over. Maybe it's time to think about the future. You have to face the possibility that there's no going back. If the ICA knows what you did...
She'll make it right. She always does.
We have a fix on Carlisle. Come on. We've got a plane to catch. I hope you like the rain, 47.
Miss Burnwood.
How did you...
I have everyone's number. You really ought to know by now.
You planned this? All of it?
Don't be silly. I just played the hand I was dealt.
We'll find you.
You had me. Where'd that get you?
We handed you an empire.
It's for the best. The partners were complacent, set in their ways. But power is more than just security. Providence can be an agent of change. Surely you understand. Or you will. Soon enough.
She came home.
Carlyle's lost an empire. You fall hard enough, you tend to be reminded of what truly matters. So, the end of the line. You ready for this?
Are you? Who will you be, without a score to settle?
I guess the world's most wanted fugitive will have to do.
Alexa Carlyle is dead. According to the funeral invitation, that is. So naturally, it caused quite a stir when the late matriarch turned up at the breakfast table, alive and kicking. Carlyle, wisely sensing that her number is up, has emerged from exile to tie up loose ends and secure the Carlyle legacy. She may be a monster, but you have to admire her due diligence. Carlyle descends from an ancient line of warrior aristocrats. Her great-grandfather made a killing in the Second Opium War and established an empire in shipping, railroads, and newspaper publishing. While largely unknown to the public, the family still asserts its quiet dominance over global transport and logistics, media, and technology. Most senior of the partners, Alexa Carlyle, is cold as ice, tough as nails, and sharp as a razor. Incidentally, it was her late father who first brought the three families together after the end of World War II at this very house, meaning that this gentleman is the birthplace of Providence.
It began here, and it ends here. Talk about poetic.
One more thing. According to our intel, Carlyle keeps a case file on the Constant. Information that may be helpful in his recapture, so don't leave the estate without it.
Right. Happy hunting, 47. See you on the other side.
Thornbridge Manor. The Carlyle family's home for countless generations. The Revenant Alexa Carlyle and her 3 adult children, younger brother Zachary, grandson and daughter-in-law, are all gathered to conduct Carlyle's sham funeral. Curiously, Carlyle summoned a famous London PI soon after arriving this morning, but his purpose at Thornbridge is yet unclear. Now, the target knows that you're coming, and her guard detail is top-notch. So Mr. Gray will secure their nearby field HQ and intercept all calls going in and out of the estate. Any appeal for backup is going to fall on very deaf ears. Good luck, gentlemen.
Welcome to England. Having just been in Dubai, with all that new money on display, the gold and the flash, and the perhaps unpersonal, we move into the inherited wealth and the established upper class of the old. We are in a rural, ancestral mansion in England where a family gathering is taking place, and a tragedy just happened. This mission is about taking out the last target of Providence, Alexa Carlyle, and what better place to do it but here, in her very own home where it all started. This mission is about infiltrating the lair of the lioness, getting close and knowing your target. It is the ultimate home invasion. We wanted the tone of the mission to evoke an ominous feeling and a sense of mystery. We wanted a mission that would tell very personal stories and unveil inner secrets. It should be a residence filled with surprises, and while playing it, the player should slowly unfold a story about the fall of a family empire, all the while seeing the vulnerable side of an Iron Lady. Of course, we did not miss the chance to add quirky family members and the special egos that you would expect in a place like this. In order to really drive home the sense of mystery, elevate the general mood, and to give a twist to the gameplay, we decided to add a whodunit in this mission. This would then also allow us to get close to the family as well as the target, showing Alexa's vulnerable sides. Perhaps also to be exploited to the player's benefit. It is very hard to miss that the event in this mission is centered around a murder mystery. Here, we ask the player to play the role of a private investigator to solve a very recent death, a suicide that our target suspect is foul play. At first, we played around with giving away the PI disguise already outside, almost for free, just to let almost everyone experience it from the get-go, as there is so much gameplay in it. But ultimately, we decided not to, as that would rob the player from infiltrating the mansion themselves, which is a very core Hitman and fun thing to do. Instead, we teased the murder mystery very heavily in the beginning to try and catch the player's interest. When I played the murder mystery for the first time, in a very early state, of course, I almost forgot that I was playing a Hitman game and was all in on solving the case. And that's what we hope that most players will do. The name of this mission is Death in the Family, and there is a lot of that in this mission. Alexa Carlyle is back from the dead, we have a suspect suicide of one of the house family members, and we have the death of an important character after. But there is more. There is someone in the mansion that is not done with the killing, and there's a legacy and history with the family that the players can learn about. The story is quite complex, and we suspect and hope that it will take our players quite a few sessions to figure out how everything connects. The same as mastering the gameplay and the level design.
Okay. What in the...
Hello? I know you're here.
That appears to be a half-burned diary belonging to Zachary Carlyle. It says he and Madame Carlyle murdered their older brother 46 years ago, and that Mr. Fernsby helped them cover it up. He was planning to confess it all. Interesting.
But he was such a gentleman. He gave me his coat and all.
Rosie, you need to forget about Patrick. No good's gonna come of it. Stick to your own side.
Did all the groceries arrive? I heard some of the delivery people were unhappy with the security at the gate. But that is safe with Ethel. She never misses a step. Gossiping and work both.
I'm getting a headache from all the decisions. I mean, pram or stroller, comforter or not. Should I ask her to marry me? What if she says no? And then this big funeral thing tomorrow. Nothing on this.
Amy is a great lad. You love her, she loves you. And now a wee one on the way. That's saying what's the...
Did Alice tell you what Emma did when she arrived?
What is it now?
She turned up and demanded to be put up in Madame Carlyle's bedroom. It's weird that you headed the family after all. She's only 50 years old. Gregory was stopped. Normally, you find out without batting an eye. But staying unsaid so late is a bit.
So 41 guests will attend the funeral tomorrow. There's still a lot to see to, but we're in good time, I think.
Fake funeral tomorrow.
Zachary found dead upstairs today. Death is everywhere. It's like a big responsibility having a baby.
Yeah, fantastic. Huh? What?
Yes, you are the man.
Hmm?
Hey, who is throwing stuff around here? Come on!
But you're right. It's beautiful.
That is Phineas Whitmer, the famous private investigator hired by Madame Carlyle this morning. I'm curious why he's here. Maybe you should do some detecting yourself, 47.
Looking good, man. Looking good.
Gregory, don't say more to that weird detective than you need to.
I was just having a laugh, dear. Must admit, he's pretty good.
What if he believes we had something to do with Zachary's death?
Oh, please.
He's circling us. I don't see him snooping around your sister. I bet Alexa said something.
If I could be bothered, I'd be worried about your mental health, Emma. But sorry, I'm having too much fun enjoying the circus.
Why went away in front of the book when people play that? That music makes my heart soar. You have a way with words.
Listen, Gregory. Something's off. Pruitt got word his motion was rejected. We all signed the bloody thing 4 days ago.
Oh, dear God, not this again.
So I got hold of the officer. He says it was finalized, but then how can it be withdrawn?
Just wait a few days. I'm sure it'll sort itself out. Oh, stop pacing, for God's sake, Emma.
But why don't we get any kind of explanation? It's bloody rude, that's what it is. Making us come here to play funeral and then show up like nothing's the least bit strange.
Oh, don't get your knickers all twisted.
I'm telling you, she's not fit to be in charge anymore.
favorites. Get away from me! I am about to vomit. Make way!
Did you talk to Mother?
I haven't had the pleasure. Huh?
She just clams up when I try to get an explanation. Not even an apology. I mean, believing our mother dead is not exactly how I'd like to spend a week, and then she shows up like that. I nearly shat myself.
What?
That's gonna hurt.
C2, this is Alpha.
Work of art. My way! I'm about to puke! Out of my way!
Did you talk to Mother?
I haven't had the pleasure.
She just clams up when I try to get an explanation.
You can make it.
Not even an apology. I mean, believing our mother dead is not exactly how I'd like to spend a week, and then she shows up like that. I nearly shat myself. I mean, she really topped her usual icy self this time.
Well, I don't know why you're so upset.
Do you realize how much I've had to deal with because of her sudden death? No, of course you don't. You've never done an honest day's work in your life.
Obviously.
If you're dressed like a Detective 47, you might as well act the detective. I suggest you go talk to the butler.
How's everything coming along, Elaine?
Very well, Mr. Fernsby.
Make sure you focus on your work.
I will.
I don't need one more maid crying in the kitchen. So watch yourself around young Mr. Patrick.
Don't worry about me.
Mr. Fernsby, I'm ready to see the crime scene.
Very well, Mr. Whitman. If you'll follow me, sir.
So, how long have you been working?
About a month.
I feel obliged to point out that current affairs surrounding Madame Carlyle are of a delicate nature. You may be familiar with the recent announcement of her death. You will probably learn that a staged funeral is scheduled to take place tomorrow. Madame's children were not informed until this morning that their mother was in fact not dead at all. So please bear with them if they seem affected by the rather unusual situation. I trust I do not need to remind you that there will be consequences if word gets out that Madame Carlyle is still alive.
I'll consider her dead when I leave.
Before you inspect the crime scene, I will tell you this. The case concerns the death of Mr. Zachary, Madame Carlyle's younger brother. He was found dead in his bed this morning. The door was locked from the inside, and a suicide letter was found in his room. However, Madame Carlyle suspects foul play and will not accept that he took his own life. I've prepared some information for you, so please do come and see me when you've finished your investigation of the crime scene. This is Mr. Zachary's room, to my right.
A locked room murder mystery, 47. I trust you'll get to the bottom of this. Zachary's suicide note. Also, a sample of handwriting. It could be relevant to compare to other samples to establish its authenticity. Zachary was shopping for new Wellingtons last night. Not exactly what you would expect from someone suicidal. Why don't you use your camera to scan the dead body, 47?
Throat markings indicate a rare, short-lived plant poison killed him. Spread shows time of death at around 10 o'clock last night.
You do know your poisons, 47.
A hidden door.
It's a secret passage. This could explain how the door was locked from the inside. A photocopy of the floor plans. Somebody's been researching the secret ins and outs of Thornbridge Manor. I believe you've done a thorough search of the crime scene, 47. Maybe it's time to see the butler. I'm curious about the information he's prepared for you.
I'm serious. I have a friend who's a model. She says that's the sweet, sweet life. You should come and stay at my place.
Trying to drag my secrets out, Annie. You're persistent. I might have to keep a
I should probably...
Oh, no.
Right.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, absolutely.
A letter from Emma's mother stating that Emma is the illegitimate child of Madame Carlyle's late older brother, Montgomery. And listen to this. She claims to have witnessed Alexa and Zachary murder him. There's no family without secrets, 47. But this family seemed to outdo most.
Yeah.
Hey, Rebecca, do you see this about old Wampy?
Mr. Fernsby, I'm done with the crime scene.
Did you establish a time of death?
Zachary died around 10 o'clock last night.
Well, that means the staff were off duty. And Madame Carlyle and her security didn't arrive until this morning. That leaves Madame's family and myself as the only persons here when he died. And before you ask, no, I do not have an alibi. I was alone in my office at the time of death. Here's the material that I prepared for you. It's a list of the possible suspects and their quarters. Hopefully that will help you keep track of your findings. Please come and see me when you've solved the case, and I will take you to Madame Carlyle.
Mr. Fernsby clearly didn't commit the murder, but I think you have enough evidence to convince Madame Carlyle he did. Maybe you should tell him you are ready to present your findings. So how does one solve a murder mystery, 47? Motive, means, and opportunity, I believe. May I suggest you ask the suspects for alibis? Or perhaps you prefer searching the manor for clues first? Unless, of course, you want to do some more detecting, 47?
Rosie, tell me what you did last night.
I'm in trouble, aren't I? I spent the evening with Patrick. We met after dinner and I went home at 1 in the morning. He said he needed someone real to talk to. When he looks at you, it makes you feel like the center of the universe. Like a real princess.
Did you notice anything out of the ordinary? Any strangers outside the house?
No, we saw no one outside. Except Patrick's mother, Emma. We were sitting on the bench behind the greenhouse talking when she came out and we had to hide. You won't tell her about me and Patrick, will you? She'd insist Madame Carlyle fire me. I'm sure of it.
I shouldn't gossip. But that Emma woman is a tad too busy for my taste.
What is it?
Elaine says she saw her on the top floor, stroking the door to Alexa's office. I kid you not.
And her son Patrick is just as bad. Just look at Rosie. He has no respect. Preying on the girls like that.
Hi.
Professor Edward Carlyle, can you tell me your whereabouts for last night?
Oh, yes, this dreadful business with Zachary. I stay at the local inn. You see, I prefer not to spend the night here at Thornbridge Manor. My brother Gregory came along for a nightcap. He'll never admit it, but I think he understands that I find this whole thing upsetting and wanted to provide some comfort. I believe we went to the Stag's Head around 8:30. Anything else I can do to help?
Can you tell me about Zachary's behavior last night?
I certainly didn't expect him to commit suicide. Sure, he was upset by Mother's supposed death. We were. But he seemed more engaged than usual. You should ask Rebecca. They had a long talk. Did you know that he hadn't left Thornbridge Manor in nearly 50 years? His plants, Mother, and the staff, all the company he had. If that's all, I have a speech to write.
Did you notice anything else out of the ordinary?
You mean apart from the fact that we came here to bury our mother and she shows up alive and kicking? Zachary found dead in his bed this morning? Or perhaps that the planned funeral is still taking place and I have to do the eulogy? And Mother will surely have a strong opinion on it afterwards. I can't breathe. Excuse me. Yes, hi, Cassie. It's me again, Edward. I know I'm not supposed to leave you messages, and this is the last time, I promise. It's just, I don't know how to handle this whole situation. I don't think I can really. I can't be like this. My eyes are not working.
Gregory Carlyle, can you tell me where you were yesterday evening?
Oh, you're wondering about my alibi, Mr. Detective. Well, I left Thornbridge around 8:30 for a pint with Edward. I wish I hadn't. Quiz night at the inn. On the other hand, staying here with Zachary, my obnoxious sister, and the wife sporting another one of her headaches would have been a fate worse than death. The short of it, Zachary was very much alive when we left. I stayed for the last shout, and I was back here just before midnight. Anything else you want to pry from my intricate intellect?
Tell me about Zachary.
Zach? Huh. Such a sad old sod. A bit heavy on the bottle, but who could blame him? Only company he had was his rare plants and Mother, who travels more than she stays here. Honestly, I can't say which is the bigger bore. He's better off dead. Is that all? Not very thorough, are you?
Anything else you'd like to tell me?
Nothing, really. I'm just enjoying the show. Our perfect mother obviously fucked up, didn't she? Faking her own death. You know, she's explained nothing to us. I think she's scared to own up to her own mistake.
Emma Carlyle, can you tell me where you were yesterday evening?
Surely I'm not a suspect.
I need to account for everyone.
Well,
I spent the evening with my family, but I got an awful migraine and had to take to bed. Everyone can attest to that. I believe I went up when the boys sat down for a drink around 8 o'clock. Is that all?
How did you feel about Zachary?
I might as well be honest. His presence was always awkward. But how do you have a meaningful conversation with a man who only cares about plants? In my opinion, Alexa bears some responsibility for how this ended. She supported his self-limiting behavior by letting him live here. Anything else you want to know?
Have you noticed anything else out of the ordinary?
Nothing special comes to mind. Except, perhaps, I did get a feeling that Zachary was depressed, not just sad. I suppose he realized that he had no one with Alexa gone. Even Alexa must feel the pangs of guilt over that one, letting him believe she was dead. Then again, guilt isn't her strong suit.
Rebecca Carlyle, can you tell me about yesterday evening?
We don't really see much of each other, my brothers and I. I suppose it takes our mother's funeral to bring us together, and even then, it's not like we sit on each other's laps. Now, let's see. Patrick, Gregory's son, disappeared straight after dinner. You know, I think he might be in some sort of trouble. Edward wanted to go as well, but Gregory convinced him to stay for a few drinks before they went off for a pint at the local at 9:15. I swear Gregory enjoys Edward's discomfort over staying here. I had a conference call with my New York office at 9, so I spent 3 hours on my laptop in my room and went straight to bed afterwards. I don't know about Emma. She did act a bit strange. You know, I bet she was making lists for changes needing to be done once she gets her hands on Thornbridge Manor. Quite the shock she had when Mother arrived during breakfast. Is there anything else you want to ask me?
Tell me about Zachary. Did he act strange last night?
You know, now you mention it, he was a lot more chatty than usual. He wanted to know about my connections in the publishing business. Apparently, a friend of his is writing a book, which strikes me as very peculiar. I didn't think he had any friends. Is that everything, Mr. Whitmer? I do have a lot to see to.
Anything else you feel like mentioning?
I may be wrong, but I saw Mr. Fernsby, the butler, leave Zachary's room early this afternoon. And he seemed a bit startled when he saw me in the hallway. It's probably nothing. Oh, and one more thing. Please be kind to Edward. He can only take so much.
Yo, Ann, what's up? Relax, man. I said I'd get you money. It's just gonna take a little longer. Jeez, and how's that my fault? Just calm the fuck down, Ant. You know I'm good for it. I'm a car. Gotta go.
On top of things, Elaine?
Sure am, Mr. Fernsby. Coming along just fine.
I trust Mr. Patrick is not interfering with your work. We need everything ready for tomorrow.
He's just bored, I think. I can work while we talk.
Just leave it at talking, Elaine. Mr. Patrick is not acquainted with how things are done here.
I'm fine. Thanks for checking in.
Patrick Carlyle, can you tell me where you were yesterday evening?
Shit, it's that sneaky butler, isn't it? He ratted me out. Elaine, give us some privacy, would you? Don't tell Mother, okay? She's really tense these days, and the last thing I need is more hassle. I took that pretty blonde, Rosie, for an evening
stroll. I mean, how the fuck am I expected to cope for an entire weekend in this shithole? I'm bored out of my mind. If that's all, I think I'll get back to my slow death by boredom.
What did you think of Zachary?
Creepy as hell. No ambition. Imagine deciding to live in a museum. You know, Father says Zachary and Alexei used to be two of a kind. He had a great future ahead of him. Then suddenly, he just gave up everything. What an idiot. Thank God Daddy chose looks and brains over pedigree when he married Mummy. I don't have to worry about the inbreeding so customary in these circles. So, is that it?
Did you see anything suspicious last night?
No. I reckon Zachary topped himself. I know I would have. Or perhaps Mr. Fernsby. I don't like him. He could have done it.
You know I'm good. Carlisle are made of that American lawyer in the...
That is the door to Rebecca's room. I can see from the log that Rebecca was in a conference call from 9 p.m. to midnight last night.
We don't have any extra fuses. Ethel looks everywhere.
No power, no work.
I'll never get out of it. All this fuss for a pretend Why not? Who thought of this? Because we're all gathered. I need it. Talk about her messed up multitasking. And who's carrying the load? I'll tell you who. Us.
Yeah, Frank is busting our balls down here too.
I don't believe for a second that Zachary committed suicide. We'd only just run through his plan for 3 seedlings yesterday.
Yeah, sure. But he was upset believing his sister was dead.
I'd say worried
Aye.
about how things would be handled with Gregory and Emma taking over. I said they let him stay here. But Ethel was sure Emma would throw him out first time she got him. And now we'll never know.
Oh my. You're pushing it hard.
Broken lab equipment. It looks like it was recently used, though.
This is a table showing lethal dosages for the poison used to kill Zachary.
Something is circled 47. Female, age 65 to 79, 60 to 64 kilograms. I'd say Madame Carlyle is next in line for a poisoning. You have uncovered enough evidence to tell Madame Carlyle that Emma is the murderer. Quite the detective, 47. I'm impressed. I suggest you go tell Mr. Fernsby. Unless you think there are more secrets to uncover. That is Alexa Carlyle, unofficial leader of the Provenance Partners, and last one to be alive.
I want to keep this short. I know you have a lot of questions. Some I will answer now. The rest will have to wait. First, Zachary's sudden death is a great tragedy, but also a great inconvenience, as it happened just now. I'm dealing with the situation in a discreet and efficient way, and I expect your cooperation in all related matters. Secondly, the arranged funeral event tomorrow will take place as planned. No one can know that I am still alive. I expect you all to act your part. Last, as you all know, I have a lot on my plate and need to focus on sorting everything out, so please do not disturb me with your petty concerns. You are all adults, and as part of the elite, you will eventually have to deal with difficult situations like this. It comes late for most of you, but this is a chance for you to show what you are made of. That will be all.
Looking good today, sir.
I'm ready to present my conclusion to Madame Carlyle.
Very well. If you'll follow me, sir.
Greetings, sir.
This is Madame Carlyle's office. Please step inside.
Any temps on today?
Not that I'm aware.
Careful.
So, Mr. Whitmer, you've reached a conclusion. Take a seat. Please, go ahead.
The butler, Mr. Fernsby, killed Zachary.
Fernsby? Oh, you've got that wrong. He would never do such a thing. He is the most loyal man I have ever met.
I found pills in his office that matches the poison that killed your brother. Furthermore, I found Zachary's notebook, half burned, in Mr. Fernsby's fireplace. It showed that Zachary intended to publish a written confession to a murder the two of you committed nearly 50 years ago. The murder of your older brother, Montgomery.
That's outrageous. We did no such thing.
No need to feign innocence. I know a killer when I see one, and my discretion is assured. The papers also described how Mr. Fernsby helped you stage the murder of Montgomery as an accident. I believe he killed Zachary not to be exposed as an accomplice to murder.
Sweet Fernsby. You are wrong, Mr. Whitmer. He did not do it to protect himself. He did it to protect the Carlyle legacy. Mr. Fernsby, like myself, understands that sacrifices must be made to secure stability and prosperity. Mr. Whitmer, I'd appreciate it if your findings never leave this room. I understand Fernsby's actions, and there is no need for them to have more consequences than they already have. Fernsby was very fond of Zachary, and I am sure his decision will haunt him to the day he dies. About your reward, have you considered an amount?
I want the file you have on Arthur Edwards.
Arthur Edwards, the Constant. But that must mean you're... I expected you'd show up. But you're not here to kill me. If you were, you would have already. The enemy of my enemy, I suppose. You can have it. You earned it. The file you want is in the safe. Good hunting.
Just keep calm.
Good work, 47. That's the file on Arthur Edwards secured. Time to take care of Madame Carlyle.
I need some privacy. Thank you. Good.
Just want to keep Madame Carlyle safe. Hello there, sir.
Donyate, Alexa Carlyle here. You need to explain yourself. I demand that you return my call ASAP. Sending a junior attorney is gross negligence of your responsibilities and will have consequences for your company and you personally as well. I will make sure of that. Mark my words.
Hi there.
'47. They're everywhere. Go, get out! It's the Constantine. Shit!
Mission complete. Well done, 47.
Don't respond, just listen. Diana can't help you now. You need to find Olivia. She will know what to do. I wish there had been more time.
And then there were none. Thank you, Miss Burnwood. Now, it's my turn.
Stay down. Boss wants you alive.
Yeah? How about now?
Over here! Cover me!
Walk away!
Or what? You gonna take us all on?
Don't.
Tell the Constant to start running!
You think you've won? 47 is out there. And 47 never misses his mark.
Neither do you, Miss Burnwood. That's what makes you valuable.
You're delusional. You think I would betray 47?
Trust me, you owe him nothing.
What is this?
I told you we could help each other, and I meant it. I'll look forward to your call.
Gray is gone. Go to Berlin and stay out of sight. We're all that's left now.